We are in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. I don't have to tell you, Ohio, 760,000 workers have lost their jobs so far this year. Businesses and families can't get credit. Home values are falling, pensions are disappearing, wages are lower than they've been in a decade, at a time when the cost of everything from health care to college have never been higher. It's getting harder and harder to make the mortgage, or fill up your gas tank, or even keep the electricity on at the end of the month. At a moment like this, the last thing we can afford is 4 more years of the tired, worn-out old theory that says we should give more to billionaires and big corporations and hope that prosperity trickles down on everybody else. The last thing we can afford is 4 more years where no one in Washington is watching anyone on Wall Street because politicians and lobbyists killed common sense regulations. Those are the theories that got us into this mess. They haven't worked, and it is time for change, and that's why I'm running for President of the United States of America. Now, Senator McCain has served this country honorably. And Senator McCain can point to a few moments, like torture, where he has broken with George Bush over the past 8 years. He deserves credit for that. He deserves credit for that. But when it comes to the economy, when it comes to the central issue of our time, the central issue of this election, the plain truth is that John McCain has stood with this president every step of the way. Voting for the Bush tax cuts for the wealthy that he once opposed. Voting for the Bush budgets that spent us into debt. Calling for less regulation 21 times just this year. Those are the facts. And now, after 21 months and 3 debates, Senator McCain still has not been able to tell the American people a single major thing he'd do differently from George Bush when it comes to the economy. Not one thing. Senator McCain says we can't spend the next 4 years waiting for our luck to change. But you understand that the biggest gamble we can take is to embrace the same old Bush-McCain policies that have failed us for the last 8 years. We can't afford to take that risk. It's not change when John McCain wants to give a $700,000 tax cut to the average Fortune 500 CEO. It's not change when he wants to give $200 billion to the biggest corporations, or $4 billion to the oil companies, or $300 billion to the same Wall Street banks that got us into this mess. It's not change when he comes up with a tax plan that doesn't give a penny of relief to more than 100 million middle-class Americans. That is not change. So look, Ohio, we have tried it John McCain's way. We have tried it George Bush's way. And deep down, Senator McCain knows that, which is why his campaign said that if we keep talking about the economy, we're going to lose. That's why he's spending these last weeks calling me every name in the book. Because that's how you play the game in Washington. If you can't beat your opponent's ideas, you distort those ideas and maybe make some up. If you don't have a record to run on, then you paint your opponent as someone people should run away from. You make a big election about small things. Ohio, we're here to say, not this time, not this year, not when so much is at stake. John McCain might be worried about losing an election, but I'm worried about Americans who are losing their homes and their jobs and their life savings. I can take one more week of John McCain's attacks, but this country can't take 4 more years of the same failed politics and the same failed policies. It's time to try something new. It is time, Canton, to try something new. The question in this election is not, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? We all know the answer to that. The real question is, will this country be better off 4 years from now?